A few months ago, Warner Brothers announced that they were up for sale, basically, and there was interested parties, but it was mainly between Netflix and Paramount that were super interested in it. And the other month, it looked like Netflix was going to be the ones that won this little bidding war. It looks like, after all, they wasn't that desperate for it. Okay, so to get straight into the story, Warner Brothers yesterday declared that the Paramount bid was superior to the Netflix one, and they had a 4-day window to basically have a counter bid. It looks like it did look like it was locked in for Netflix, so there's probably going to be like out fees and things like that. But with this information coming out, Netflix showed they really wasn't interested because it didn't take them long to concede. The Netflix has backed out because they don't want to enter a bidding war, basically. So they've conceded to Paramount, and it looks like Paramount is not going to be owning Warner Brothers. So with this interest, this kind of shows that it's probably a good thing that Paramount's ended up with this, even though there's a lot of crap that Paramount's doing at the moment, which at the end of the day, Paramount's not a perfect company, but they're better than Netflix for this, because Netflix they were trying to focus on series and movies, where Paramount, they want everything, basically. So reports are showing that Paramount has basically offered a $31 per share, a 25-cent quarterly ticking fee beginning after September 30th, 2026, a massive $7 billion regulatory fee, termination fee, agreement to cover the $2.8 billion breakup fee owed to Netflix. Are they still owed that if they've backed out, Alba? I'm not too sure. Thing is, with this, I am glad Netflix is backing out, because the problem with Warner Brothers has been going downhill for a long time, but so is the whole industry. The whole industry's been going down because they're trying to reboot things and ruining things left, right, and center. Like, we're waiting for this new Harry Potter, and they've done race swaps that make zero fucking sense, like making Snape black. When they originally announced Netflix was going to be buying Warner Brothers, probably a very me thing to worry about, because I guarantee there's not many people that worried about it. My worry was about this side of it. Netflix don't really care about the comic book industry. Like, when it comes to comic books, they care about like video media. When it comes down to the DC Warner Brothers side, with their comics, they've been doing a good job at the moment by bringing they've been all in on bringing new omnibuses and stuff, so you can have collections. I've recently, over the last couple of years, I've got all my short boxes over there, but I'm at that age where I don't want to be going through my short boxes, opening up a bag to read one issue, put it back away, it's organized. It's so much easier having these on a shelf. Like, I will always keep my long boxes, and it is still a better way, but that's a good way of collecting. This, putting things in reading order and having them in omnibuses and collected editions, is a good way just to sit down and just read comics. If Netflix took over that, I feel like that would just disappear. It'll be one of the first things that probably, it wouldn't go, but there would be like next to no focus. Because like over the last 5 years, they have been putting some focus in, and it's been good. Not for the wallet, but it's been good. And the thing is, the same thing kind of comes with Paramount. Are they going to give a fuck about that side? Because that's the side I care about, really. But that's going to be something we'll see. Like, will they actually have much say? Are they going to? Is the comic book side going to stay its own thing, or is it just going to merge in and kind of just turn into a mess? Paramount's going to come in and take things out in collected editions that need to be in there just because they don't agree with it and shit like that. Just like the John Byrne Man of Steel, you had the 4 hardback covers. The 4th edition of that stopped getting printed very quick because people got a bit weird, because there's like a scene where it looks like Superman's getting a bit with Wonder Woman, It looks a little bit forceful. Then again, you have it later on where you got you have Superboy staring at Supergirl's tits. So they didn't care about it. No one really cares about that, but we'll ignore that. The major problem we're seeing with all this, the bigger studios are eating up the smaller ones and the medium ones, to be fair, because that's what Warner Brothers is. It's a big studio, but it's like, I suppose it's not one of the mega ones. That's why they're up for sale. But the problem is, these companies are all getting eaten up by the bigger companies like Amazon, Paramount, Disney, things like that, because they've all lost their way. They're not. Think about what Warner Brothers used to be compared to what they are now. When it comes to movies and TV and all that kind of shit, they are very much an echo of what they used to be. They used to be a very dominating force in entertainment, and they still are. They still have the big IPs, but they're not getting used. Or when they are getting used, they're getting abused. So I think when we're seeing big companies like Warner Brothers being eaten up by Paramount, a bit of a weird corporation to be swallowing up Warner Brothers, but we'll see how that goes. When you're seeing all these guys just swallowing each other up, it's got to beg to differ. Are we going to have much variety in the future? I can see like 10, 20 years down the line, everything's going to go down the route of being indie. People are going to like the smaller budget, indie, new directors. We're getting fed up of the same shit because everything feels the same at the moment. That's the problem with a lot of shit. It's all the same. There's a lot of there's a lot of agenda shit, and there's a lot of checkboxes shit. So it has to have this, has to have that. We're going to swap this, swap that. We're going to cater to like 1% of the population by putting them in this, but we represent them in this 50% of the cast. Or we're trying to have inequality, so we're going to have stories about this and that and this and that, but every story is about this and that and this and that. So it's not about making things equal, it's about forcing it in your face. So just people aren't turning up at the cinemas. And that was the problem with Netflix. So if Netflix took this over, it would turn into basically what Star Wars turned into with Disney, where now with Star Wars it's just a category on Disney Plus. No one gives a fuck about Star Wars how it used to be. One of the biggest fucking IPs, one of the most there's probably bigger, but I'd say one of the biggest fan bases out there for a movie franchise back in the day, and it's now a category on a streaming service. With Netflix, if Netflix did take over Warner Brothers, that's what things like Harry Potter, all the new DC movies, things like that, what lot would have just turned into. It would have been a category on Netflix. The problem is with Paramount, could still be the same thing because you have the Paramount streaming service. Plus, they have a connection with Paramount and Amazon as well. So, again, it might turn it into a streaming service. We need to go back to making these blockbuster, not even blockbuster, we just need to go back to making fun films, fun series. We need to make fun series that people can invest in, that they don't mind sitting down at the end of the day and watching on TV. We need movies that are going to put bums in seats at the fucking cinemas. People don't really go to the cinema anymore. Every time I've gone to the cinema now, it's pretty much an empty cinema, no matter what movie it is, no matter how popular it is and how much like you're hearing people love it and things like that. There's no one in there. There's like one or two people. The only time people do go is if it's like a Friday night and maybe the cinemas are like half full then, and maybe like opening night for stuff, then it just falls off. It's why I hate the people that focus on box office numbers, because people don't think about inflation and stuff like that. Because if you compare how much movies are making now compared to like 10, 20 years ago, it's like junk change pretty much. It's ridiculous. So Paramount getting their grubby little hands on Warner Brothers. Is it going to save Warner Brothers, like their IPs and their franchises? Probably not. You're probably not going to see a difference. It's probably just going to be, because the problem with a lot of Warner Brothers stuff at the moment, if you want to watch it for free on a streaming service, they're normally like for a certain amount of time. They're on Netflix, then for another amount of time they're on Amazon. Then they like disappear for a little while. Then they'll come back. So it depends who got the contract at the time to be able to live stream, unless you buy it. This just means that it's probably just all going to be in one place. So it's going to be on the Paramount streaming system. It's going to be on the Paramount streaming, which great. It's all in one place, so it's going to be easier to find stuff. But what are we doing with the future shit? Like the Harry Potter series that's coming out. What's happening with that? So when we go back to comic book side of stuff, are you guys going to give a fuck about that side? Are you going to still be giving us new content that people, I say that people care about? The newer comics are fucking still shit. Even though you've had the new KO event at the moment. Haven't read it. I want to give it a go. I just don't fucking trust it at the moment. But you're still going to be giving us these omnibuses and stuff, because the quality's been, it took a dip for a little while, but the quality's good at the moment. Like the absolutes have got good quality, and the omnibuses are good quality at the moment, and how they've laid them out and stuff, that like there's only been a couple where it's just like, why are we missing that, why are we missing this? It's just like with the new Superman, with the Superman New Krypton omnibus that I think out now. I need to check the date on that, or it's out soon. From what I saw with how they've laid out, that they're missing side stories that kind of tie into it. So it would have been nice to get them, but we'll see if we get a volume 2 with that and see what they kind of do with it. But if this happens, are we going to get more things like that? Because with DC, there's a lot of things that haven't been, like Superman. I'm obviously a Superman guy. There's a lot that hasn't been collected in proper collected editions. You have to get a lot of like trades and stuff if you want to get that. Like a lot of this is trades in between and down here. Like all that's trades. So it would be nice to get all that filled in with proper omnibuses. Some trades is a little bit hard to get a hold of as well, especially for new readers that want to get into it. If they want to go back and get into some stuff, getting some trades. If you look online, because they're so long out of print and they haven't been collected in anything else, they might as well have just disappeared. Then people that are selling them are selling ones that are like, it looks like someone smeared shit on the fucking cover. Then they're charging stupid amount for them as well. So it's just like, heck no. So I feel a little bit sorry for new readers that want to read that want to have a reading order when it comes to that kind of stuff. But I suppose that's a very niche thing, because a lot of people don't read comics anymore. The whole comic book industry's dying anyway, which is fucking sad. But if you want to go back to the DC side of the video media side, so like the movies, TV shows, are they going to replace James Gunn's side of DC and reboot it again? Or are they going to stick it out, see where it goes? It's going to be an interesting one. Like, how much of a buyout is this going to be? Are they going to get rid of everyone and just start replacing everyone that's at Warner Brothers? So it's just going to feel like a completely different company. Or are they going to keep a lot of the creative side and the directors and the producer side and leadership side and all that kind of shit? So it's not going to feel much of a change. It'd be nice to start getting some more stuff from Warner Brothers and bring back some IPs from them and things like that. But as I said before, it's Paramount. Still not much trust there. Let's see how this goes. So, what are your thoughts on this? Does it make you feel better that it's Paramount rather than Netflix? Because I know I feel better about Paramount taking over than Netflix. Still not good. I would rather Warner Brothers just be Warner Brothers. But is this the better of two evils? Let me know. And while you're letting me know, give that like button a little tickle, and that sub button a little fondle, a little underbelly tickle. And if you got a bit of spare time, there's some more videos here for you. And until next time, bye bye.